In Destiny, there are a bunch of unique exotic weapons one can use to create a multitude of builds. With catalysts, those exotic weapons become even more powerful and potent, but there are some exotics that just have been outright forgotten about. So here are 5 of what I believe are the most forgotten exotic weapons and their catalysts, plus what I think Bungie can do to make these exotics feel a bit more modern. The first exotic on my list is the Black Talon. This weapon fires a void projectile when you use your heavy attack, but that's literally it. At this point in Destiny 2's life, we have legendary swords that do this, and in Season of the Wish we are receiving a Void Caster Sword as a ritual weapon, which makes me ask the question, what's the point of Black Talon? The exotic catalyst provides extra damage to your void projectile, but only right after blocking damage. Well, what if Black Talon got a buff that made the void projectiles do volatile damage? I think this would inject some life into the weapon, and Bungie can take the existing catalyst and just turn it into an exotic trait, because Black Talon is currently the only exotic that I know of to have 3 perks instead of 4. The second exotic I know everyone has forgotten about is the Borealis. This weapon can cycle through all 3 light elements and receives a buff depending on which light element you're using. Plus, the weapon refunds ammo when you match and break the shield of an enemy. The issue with Borealis is that Arbalest outshadows this weapon in every way, because Arbalest one-shots every shield in the game, including the shields of dungeon bosses. And Arbalest intrinsically has anti-barrier rounds, so what if, instead of increasing the reload speed of Borealis, the catalyst instead made the weapon intrinsically unstoppable and refunds ammo every time you damage a shield that matches your current element, or just make the Borealis one-shot elemental shields. My third most forgotten exotic is the Bad Juju Pulse Rifle, a classic Destiny 1 exotic that fires in full auto. Kills with this weapon fully reload the magazine, grant bonus super energy, and increases your damage for a short duration. The catalyst only extends the duration of the main exotic perk, String of Curses, allowing you to take advantage of the bonus super energy from kills and weapon damage for longer. But if you're actively getting kills, this catalyst is basically useless. My idea is that the catalyst should provide even more super energy and damage to the String of Curses perk, but only while hip firing. See, Bad Juju is a pulse rifle that has the body of a scout rifle, and it increases accuracy, stability, and precision targeting when firing from the hip. So to play into the identity crisis of Bad Juju, to me it only makes sense to buff the hip firing aspect of the weapon. Next up on my list of forgotten exotics is the Prometheus Lens. This weapon was introduced back in Curse of Osiris, and when it first came out, this weapon fully refunded ammo whenever you got a kill. But Prometheus Lens received a nerf a couple of years ago that removed the ability to fully refund ammo. I think enough time has passed for this nerf to be reverted. This would allow the weapon to spread Scorch much easier without the need to worry about ammo as long as you're getting kills. The last weapon on my list of forgotten exotics is the Colony. This heavy grenade launcher was fun when it first came out, with the rounds fired from the weapon tracking targets after landing on the ground. But as Bungie adds new weapons and exotics into the game, the Colony gets even more forgotten about. And to be honest, it feels like it hasn't been updated in years. To make things worse, the catalyst only provides the weapon with a couple of more rounds in reserves. What I think Bungie could do to this weapon is turn it into a support exotic like the Tractor Cannon and Divinity. Make the Colony be able to weaken and apply a sort of sever effect against enemies. Weaken would only provide a 15% damage boost against affected targets, and Sever would reduce the damage output of the affected enemy, turning the Colony into the perfect hybrid support weapon. Tractor Cannon wouldn't get overshadowed because it would still provide the biggest damage buff and suppress targets, plus Divinity would still be able to apply a big crit spot, making it very easy to hit targets. The entire reason anyone would want to use the Colony is so that the enemies can be severed and do less damage to you and your fire team while still providing a bit of extra damage. For honorable mentions, I have the Rat King, Manticore, Vigilance Wing, Prospector, and Sweet Business. For the most part, I couldn't come up with any change that I would like to see that would make these weapons viable except for Sweet Business. Just give that weapon subsistence and call it a day. Anyways, that's my top 5 most forgotten exotic weapons and what I think Bungie can do to buff them. Let me know what you think about these changes in the comments, subscribe for more, and thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.